Hey, cuties. Welcome back to 5 Years Time Podcast with your host, Grace. That's me. Let me paint you a picture, okay, of where I'm coming from in my day right now. So typically I record in the morning, but it is 5:32 p.m. I just came out of the pool for the first time, fully submerging myself. I have sat on a floaty once, but I kept my bum as high as possible because the water was cold and the weather outside was cold, but today was hot. And I put on my jammies, a fresh layer of deodorant. I just got myself a little beverage, which I will share after a day of being out in the sun, working hard. And this is where we're at with a cozy blanket, hanging out with the cuties. So I'm in a really good place right now. And I just want to share that with you. I also have my window open just outside of the studio and I can hear the birds chirping. I had a debate if I should close it, but when I did my test sample, I don't think it picked up. But if you hear birds chirping, that's why. And we know for next time, don't record with the window open. But we got to test everything out. Also, we haven't turned on the air yet, and I think it'll be really hot if I close the window. But I'm so excited to be here with all of you. It has been such a beautiful week. Like the weather has gotten warm again. We had a really lovely few days, and then it dropped down to cool weather, but now we're back to sunshiny days and definitely hot. And um it's the last episode of May. I just can't believe that. I think I felt a lot of not anxiety, I just time pressure going into June because I have a very busy June and I just wanted to make sure that I got everything I needed to do out of the way for May and just entered June in a good mindset. And so today we're going to be talking a lot about that time pressure. There's a common phrase called now or never, and I just have some thoughts on that. But before we jump into that, let's do my weekend recap. So, this past weekend was so lovely. I honestly think we just had a nice, relaxing weekend after a short week because in Canada, our long weekend was not this past weekend, it was the weekend before. So, we had a short week, which was nice. And then Friday came quickly. And it also came I felt like I had time to catch up on things. I felt a lot of pressure the week before for some reason. I don't know. But, anyways, so the weekend was lovely and we had a birthday party we needed to go to for Ro. And it ended up being a birthday party we could drop her off at if we wanted to, but we had both planned to attend it because we had something else to go to afterwards. So we were we had a big debate. We're like, should we leave? Should we stay? And then we decided to stay. Also, it was at a place where I was thinking that it was a gymnastics place, and I thought Ro, if she liked it, it would be something she might want to do in the fall because she's now that age where I can sign her up for activities. So I also was just intrigued to see what it looked like. And I'm happy we stayed. It was fun. But I mean, we could have gone and got dinner or something, but it was fine. It all worked out. But yeah, I was fully not expecting that. I was like, oh my gosh, already drop off birthdays? How exciting. The freedom is just coming back to me. That being said, I was talking to one of Ro's teachers and she was like, oh, are you planning on having another one? And I kind of laughed when she asked because I feel like it's an awkward question for me. But we don't have a plan to have another one anytime soon. If we are going to have another kid, we'll have probably only one more and it won't I can't even see that right now in my future. So it's definitely not in the works. And also that being said, we're very happy as a family of three. So she was just honestly, it's so lovely having your freedom. And I have a child who has 4 kids and she's just like, mom, what did I do? I'm so locked in. Not that she regrets her children at all, but I think a lot of times people have this. I was saying to her, I feel like a lot of times people have this picture of what their future is going to look like, how many kids they want. And I've definitely felt this pressure. And then once they get pregnant, it's okay, we got to get them all out and done. And I remember when I first had Ro, I felt oh my gosh, if we're going to have another kid, we need to do this now because I do not want to do this again. And I'm so happy that Trevor was not on board with that because I can't imagine just going back to back. I know for other people it works fine, and this is definitely not a judgment conversation at all. But I just think it's nice to give yourself the space and the time to reflect and decide on what you want. And I know for other people, it's very important for age gaps to be a certain amount, but I'm very grateful that I have a big age gap between me and my brother, and that Trevor and his siblings all have big age gaps. So we're comfortable with it, and we all love our siblings and get along with them and feel connected and friends and stuff. So I'm happy that I've lived that experience. So yeah, anyways, that was a little side note. But yeah, we had a great birthday party, but that was on Sunday. On Saturday, I'm trying to think what we got up to. I'm pretty sure we went for um a walk in the morning and went to this park, and then we went and had a pizza party lunch, which just means we went for pizza for lunch. We had lots of pizza this weekend because then we also had pizza at the party and we got pizza on Monday. But weekends are for pizza, and I had pizza today for lunch because we had leftover pizza. I love pizza. We found this new place that we've had their pizzas, like their circle pizzas before, but we didn't really like them. But we tried their party pizza at this birthday party and we were like, ooh, it's good. So we now know that a party pizza is good there. And I was saying to Trevor, I was like, we should make Fridays like party pizza nights. But now I'm thinking maybe Mondays because I kind of liked it for Monday, especially because the beginning of the week's really busy for me. But either way, I was thinking one night we should have like a party pizza night where we just pick up a party pizza and then you have leftovers. So it's like easy. You can either have them in the freezer or the fridge to throw together another meal at some other point. Cause I feel like this summer, there's not enough time in the day to get everything done. And you just want to spend as much time outside. So it's nice to just have like something easy to make for dinner or reheat, or not everyone's hungry at the same time. I feel in the summer too. It's because you like have a later lunch or you snack here, you've gone out this or that. And it's just like, it's nice to just have something that you can make for just yourself or for the family. But yeah, so we just spent a lot of time outside. And then same thing for Sunday. We were at church a lot because we had church in the morning, but also they were having like a festival of music in the evening that Trevor was participating in. So we were there to participate in that, which was nice. And we had the birthday party. So it was just like a good mix of busy and not busy. And then today or yesterday, Monday, was such a beautiful day in the morning, and me and Ro went down to the park and the beach in the morning. And I kind of wished I'd brought the paddleboard because I thought that would be so fun for us because the water was so calm and lovely and there was no one there. So then I had said to her, like, oh, after school, maybe we can paddleboard. And she was into that. So then I picked her up after school and we went down to the beach to go paddleboarding. And she's like a little hesitant on the paddleboard, especially the first time she saw me go out. She was like, oh my gosh, mommy, you're going so far. Like, but then I took her out just a tiny bit one time. And then this time I was like, I made a whole thing out of it. Like we pretend she's obsessed with Moana right now. I don't blame her. I love Moana too. So I made a whole thing about Moana and the storyline and the coconuts at Hey Hey. We had to go out. And so then she was excited. And it was like choppy. It wasn't like so wavy, but it was definitely choppy. And so there was like nice bumps and it felt like very adventurous and she was good. She also has a new life jacket this year because she like sized out of her old one. So I think she's just like not familiar with it. And so she feels like she can't swim because when she has a life jacket on, she's an amazing swimmer. Like she can swim fully by herself. Um, so it's also a very shallow beach. Like you can go so far out and like still touch the ground, especially as like a tall person. And so I was like, don't worry, Rose. So we got out so far and she was like starting to get nervous. And I was like, "Oh, don't worry, we'll go back." But then like instead of going directly back, I like kind of made like an angle line so we could go a little further, not further out, but just like further on the journey to get her more comfortable. And she was happy with that. And then at one point she was like, I'm just nervous if I fall. And I was like, Ro, you have a life jacket on. It has a handle on it. I will jump right in. Like I can grab you. You'll also be able to swim. And I said, do you want me to hop out and show you that I can touch the bottom? So I hopped out and oh my gosh, this is like the lake. It was cold, but it felt so good. I'm so happy that I did that. There's something about lake, like water, that's just so refreshing, and like ocean, like it's just like nothing. It's your body feels so zen after that. It's like we're connected right with nature. It's as for me, it's like this like meditation. It's really beautiful. Anyways, I hopped out and I went to touch the ground. I didn't realize we were like in a part. It kind of has sandbars everywhere, so I didn't realize how far out we were between a sandbar and not a sandbar. So I had to like I could touch, but my chin was like just above the water. So I ended up like fully submerging and it was fine. But then I had to get back on the board, which made it a little wobbly. And then bro was like total freak out. Not like she was just freaking out. She didn't have like a tantrum or anything. She was just like, I feel really uncertain about this. So anyways, then I said, okay, we're heading back in. So we headed back in and it was nice. We were probably out there for about half an hour and then we spent a good half an hour on the beach and then we went and picked up a party pizza and had a picnic with Trev at home. It was the perfect after school adventure. Yeah, and I'm really excited because it was choppy after. Like I find this beach like in the morning it's really calm and then it can get choppy throughout the day, and then at nighttime, like sunset, it's calm again. And so I'm really looking forward to, I think tomorrow morning I have some free time in the morning. I think I'm going to bring the paddleboard when I drop Ro off, and then I'll just go do a paddle right after. And this will be my first time going out like by myself without the family. So I can like play around on it and hopefully get standing up on it. I stood up on it once, but just for a second because I didn't want to fall into the water because I was scared it would be too cold. But now I've fully submerged myself. I'm ready. So I think tomorrow I'm going to go out for a paddleboard first thing in the morning. And I think that'll just be like so perfection because this is really what I've been waiting for, is this experience. And so far I'm loving it. But today we have been in the garden all day. My aunt and my mom came over and we're in the middle of like removing all the landscaping that was at the front of our house because it's just like so overgrown, and some parts had like bugs infesting it and all that. And it's been quite the adventure. We have these two big cedars that we've been working to take down, and today we finally got them down. And now we just have some stumps. But my neighbor across the street got like this nifty stump remover. He's been removing everyone's stump. It's like his new toy. So he's going to come do our stumps at some point, which I'm looking forward to. And then we can start thinking about what the next plan for that is. I'd like to put some seating, like to sit on, and then obviously new plants and shrubs and stuff. But I'm not stressed. But it's just like, it's quite the transformation. It's like the first thing when we first started hacking away at it, I was like, what, I like instantly, not instantly regretted it, but I thought like, am I going to regret this? Like, was this a good choice? But now that everything's down, it's just so more open and airy, and it feels a lot like bigger, our front yard, which is lovely because our backyard is not really a yard, it's a ravine lot, and we put on all the decking so we don't have like any grassy space. So our front yard is really a place that we go and we spend having coffee in the morning or playing out in the afternoon with the neighbor kids. It's just like a place, and it's like kind of our quiet oasis. We live on a quiet street. It's very nice to just be out there and socializing with people and that stuff. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to transforming that into more sitting and more functionality play space for Ro and all of that. So yeah, that'll be fun. But that was a big undertaking, and I'm so thankful that my aunt was able to come and help with her. She had her chainsaw, but she also brought this nifty thing. It was like called a pole saw. It's like a saw on a big pole, and it has a saw tip, and then it also has a rope that connects to like a lever that pulls a clipper, a hook with like a like a hedge trimmer type thing on it, um, or a branch cutter. I don't know what you call it, but anyway, so that was good. But I was also able. We have a big pine of some sort tree in our backyard that has some dead branches that hang over our new pool deck. And so I was able to go down and saw those. And oh my gosh, I had like it fully extended, it extends huge. And I'm like sawing like straight up, like repetitively. And I'm all of a sudden halfway through this one branch. I had a few branches, but this was this one branch. And I was like, wait, which way is the branch going to fall? And I like kind of like spooked myself out. But I was like, just keep going, Grace. Like, you're going to be okay. And I was okay. But yeah, it was a little nerve-wracking for a second, but it was good. And I'm so happy. And now it feels so much bigger. And I've been saying I want to get another seating couch for that area just to have a little bit more options, and also there's room for it. But now it definitely like looks like it's ready because those branches were kind of hanging over that spot. Now it feels airy and open. So there will be some patio furniture buying in the future, but I think I'll wait until I figure out what I'm doing at the front of the house. We'll see. It's just because I do want to get some chairs for out there. But all of this stuff, it's like you think you're done spending money on outdoor stuff, and every year it's like, oh, you got to spend more money. But that's the joys of owning a house, I guess. And our friends did buy something from Home Depot. So I've bought furniture, outdoor furniture from Canadian Tire, as our top deck. And then last year we bought them from Walmart, is like our pergola area. And now I want to buy something from Home Depot because my friend bought something from Home Depot and it looks so nice and it was a nice reasonable price. And now I'm like, okay, so I'll have 3 different places and I'll know which ones last the longest, so we know for the future where we should buy from. But yeah, I'm looking forward to it. So anyways, that was this past weekend and the beginning of this week. It was so lovely to just be outside and enjoying the beauty and the birds chirping and the sunshine, although the bugs are starting to come out. And I'm tick chucking Allaby every single day. Everyone in my neighborhood who has cats just keeps telling me, oh, I found this tick and this tick. And I'm like, ticks. Because last year, if you were around, I probably said this on the podcast, Allaby had so many ticks this time last year. and it was wild. And thankfully we took her to the vet and they dealt with it. But yeah, she does take her tick drops and everything, but so far no ticks. And I need to book her next haircut appointment so that her hair doesn't get too long so that I can tell when she has ticks. But let's get into snack and drink of the week. Okay, so my snack of the week is we went to this new donut shop this weekend called Mavericks, which I believe is a chain. I'm not sure where it's available, but I'm pretty sure it's a chain. And I've been watching the process of it opening for the past like couple months. And then finally, my mom had texted me and was like, Mavericks is open. I was like, oh, we got to go. So on Friday morning, I was like, oh, Ro, maybe we do Starbucks Friday and then go get some donuts before school. But it doesn't open till 9. So we couldn't do that because we wouldn't have got to school on time. So we went on Sunday morning and they were so delicious. The one I really wanted to try was the powdered sugar donut because I just love a powdered sugar donut, especially a fresh one. So good. But the winner of my eyes, like that, it was delicious. But the best one was the blueberry fritter. So I tried the apple fritter first, but then my mom actually brought over donuts today too. We're obsessing. And she had gotten the blueberry fritter. Oh, it was so good. And I'm not even a huge blueberry fan, but it kind of tasted like a funnel cake. Oh, it was so good. So I'm just like kind of fully into donuts right now. Like I think every morning I wake up and I'm like, I kind of could go for a donut. And then you realize it's not open till later. So it's like, okay, fine. But so delish. So blueberry fritters are kind of my jam right now. That's my snack of the week. If you can find a blueberry fritter near you, you gotta try it. If not, settle for an apple. And then my drink of the week. Do do do. I thought my door was opening for a second. Sorry. I was like, what was that noise? Maybe I didn't close it all the way. Guys, I always get so creeped out when I'm in my in this closet. I think it just opened with the wind. Anyways, is just a nice ice lemony water. I actually am kind of obsessed with making my own lemonade at home too. So you would just add sugar into this and more lemon. Ooh, so good. After we went to the fair last weekend, Trevor's been doing that. So delicious. But just like something a little yummy at the end of the day. I just took the biggest sip. Oh, it's just so refreshing. I love it. I used to hate. Oh, my door just closed. It must have been the wind. It must have been the wind. It just like slammed closed. Our door is between, so our bedroom door, we have a door stop for when I actually have it open so that it doesn't slam close because there's a window in our room and there's a window on the other side of it in the hallway. And so it creates this like perfect crosswind that catches the doors and slams or our door and slams it. Yeah, so I must have just not closed it all the way because it just slammed shut. Spooky. But yes, this is delicious. Sometimes I find ice water. I do love ice water, but sometimes I just find that like I need a little something in it. So it's nice to have a little lemon. I was actually going to buy a big bundle of mint today. They had a huge bundle of mint at Walmart. And I was like, ooh, should I get that to make some fresh drinks? And I was like, I probably won't use it all. And I talked myself out of it. And I'm like, I wish I got that because that would be perfect. I love lemon and mint water. I know a mojito is lime, but lemon and mint water gives that same vibe. And if you use a bubbly water, oh, it's so good. Anyways, that's my snack and drink of the week. Okay, let's get into this week I learned. This week I learned that now or never is not true. I feel like for a long time I used the phrase now or never to push myself to get out of my comfort zone, and that's good because I am all about getting out of my comfort zone. Like as you know, my like kind of life journey right now and like the number one advice I have for like my younger self is to just have more courage, be brave, do more things, take up space, be loud, like not be so afraid and not awkward. I felt awkward. I don't think I was awkward. I felt awkward, but like just like not feel I don't even know if burden is the right term, but not feel like I don't know, like I'm not worthy of saying something or that my opinion doesn't have value or add value. But that's like a whole nother thing. But I definitely did like the phrase, like, do it now or never, because it's true in the sense that it pushed me out of my comfort zone. But I also think, like, it's not true. Like, it's not true that it's now or never. And when you think of things like that, then you feel like, oh, I missed an opportunity, which I don't think we ever miss an opportunity. I do think that the path that we're on is meant for us. And like, it's kind of one of those things where I'm so like at peace right now where I am, like, career wise, because for so long, my whole life, I always wanted to be a chef. Like, I always wanted to go to culinary school. I always wanted to do this professionally, like cook professionally or bake professionally. And then the very last minute of like applications, I literally decided to change career paths and apply for EC and or early childhood education. I don't even know like what that switch in me was, because I had always wanted to work in food. But I did that, and I guess what? I absolutely loved early childhood education. I loved going to school for it. I loved being in it. I loved teaching in it. I loved directing in it. I loved all elements. I loved all job levels that I had. I loved everything about it. I loved the people I worked with, the families I had. There were definitely things that were hard and frustrating and that I could have lived without, but that's every single job. But I loved it. And then that took me to meeting um, someone who got me into a side job, like a part-time job on top of that, a weekend job doing party classes. Like, one of the women I worked with, she was teaching cooking classes to kids for birthday parties on the side, and they were like, oh, they're looking for people. I was like, I love doing that stuff, so I did that as a side job, and that kind of got me back into the kitchen. And throughout this, I was always volunteering in the summer for at least a week at the camp I grew up, working in the kitchen with the women there, and men, um, doing like the camp food. And I loved doing that. And I love being in a big prep kitchen. And so just these little things got me like into more of a professional mindset about it. And I always thought like, oh, is this something I want to do or not do? But then I felt like I was in that point in my life where like food jobs weren't the best for me at the time, because they're super grueling and like don't really work flexibility wise with having a family, because you work weekends and holidays and evenings, and you're just like in a whole different world, and you can work all the time basically. So I was grateful for my like Monday to Friday job. But then I had row, and I always knew after row I was going to go on a different career path. I never thought it would be back to food. Like, I never in a million years thought that. And then I went into events, and then after events I was thinking about applying for different jobs, and I started looking into food jobs, which was so random. And a lot of them were evenings, which was actually kind of worked well for my schedule, because Ro went to bed pretty early, and then I would have time with her during the day. I could work evenings. It would have been a weird makeup, but I was like trying to make it think in my head, and I was like, okay, I'll start in the kitchen, like, or I'll start in the dish pit, and I'll work my way up. Like, I was ready to like take that on, and then I was just like, this isn't practical right now. I Let me think about it some more. Let me think about it some more. And I was always doing the podcast, and then I started creating food online, and I would just jumped into that, and it was like kind of a full circle moment. I just realized like this past month or two that I'm now working in a food career, maybe not a typical one or something I ever imagined, literally. And I'm so grateful for it. And it just is so true that it's not now or never. Like, because I would have thought 18-year-old or 17-year-old Grace, who was applying for college, would have needed to go to culinary school and do ABCDD. Good thing I didn't go to college. I did. I do know my alphabet, but to do A through Z to get to where you want to go, because it's so not true. It's not now or never. I think that our journeys and our choices are meant to guide us on a path that takes us eventually to another path that we have dreamt of at some point in our life. I think especially me, I'm such a daydreamer. I dream of things and worlds and futures that I don't even necessarily know or what I'm dreaming of, until I all of a sudden I'm living that in that life that I'm like, this feels almost deja vu-y. Like, this is literally something I've painted a picture of in my mind before. And it's so beautiful. So if you're feeling a lot of pressure right now to make choices and like it's a now or never situation, and if there's opportunities coming up and you're like pushing yourself, I have to take these opportunities, I need to do everything right now, it's now or never. If I don't do it now, I'm missing out, it's never going to come back. It's so not true. And I think there's so many people out there who feel that way, that like it can feel true. Like it can feel like that is the only option. And if you don't do that, then you're missing out and other people are going to excel further than you or whatever. But like you also have to decide what you want for your life. And I think that's something I've been really trying to figure out. It's like I am in this new career path where it's like, yeah, sure, I could work all the time 24/7, do so much and take every single opportunity that came and push myself even harder and post a million videos and like just like keep going and like burn out and like just keep going and start this like really wicked and awful routine. Or I could actually think, what is it that I want? Is do I wanna do that? Is that why I chose to work for myself, so that I could be burnt out all the time like I was when I was working for other people? Or was it so that I could have more flexibility? And yeah, I think when you work for yourself, the thing is you can decide kind of what your salary is because you can take on as much work as you want, as much work as you have capacity for or not capacity. I think people push themselves sometimes too much. Um, but it's more so that you can decide what's your comfort level. And I think it's hard in the society um, to feel like if you're not making as much money as you possibly could make, then you're not doing a good job. Like if you're leaving money on the table, not necessarily like in a deal, but just like if there's opportunities out there that could give you money and you're not doing them, um, then you're like not successful. But I don't think that's true at all. I really don't think that's true, because I find so much success in spending time with my family and having flexibility to help people to help my mom run errands in the middle of the week or to volunteer to run my church's summer camp, to make a meal for a neighbor who might need one, to chill for a day and just watch shows and hang out and do something that I love to do, or go get my nails done, or go hang out with my in-laws. Like I find so much joy in that type of flexibility that honestly it brings me more happiness to do that than to be racking in extra deals here or there, or like killing myself to grow to something like at a rapid pace. I rather just create a life of steadiness where I feel content. And yes, there's ups and downs in that, always highs and lows. You know this, cuties, you're here for the highs and lows, but I really don't think that it's now or never. Like, I don't think right now is your prime necessarily. You or me. I just think that like a lot of people are like, right now is your prime. Like, you've got to go after it. You're only going to get old and tired. And like, I think that's not true. And there's this person I follow on TikTok who talks about how she only follows people on social media who are over the age of 50. I think that's what she said. Unless they're like her friends, but like she doesn't follow any influencers unless they're over the age of 50, because she wants to surround her experiences with like viewing parasocial relationships of other people as, look at what can happen in your 50s. Look how beautiful you are and how whole and full and wonderful your life is, and how you can begin new hobbies and start new friendships and begin this, and all of these things can be a continuation of something that you love, or a beginning of something new that you haven't known that you love, or the start of something that you've always dreamt of doing. And like how it doesn't just like end. Like I feel like time feels so pressured. Ugh, I started this episode by saying like time anxiety. I think it's so true. And I think that the phrase now or never just is too much, because I don't think that's true. I think that we all can do anything we want at the pace that we want. And I think we need to sometimes, probably all the time, need to slow down and just breathe and be in the moment. Even today, every Monday, every Monday and Tuesday, I feel so I feel like there's not enough hours in the day. I always do. And it's just the way that my work week is made up. Like I really try and limit it, but I always feel like there's not enough hours in the day. And even today it was like I normally like to record my podcast first thing, but I have so much stuff I need to get done today, and then my family was coming to help me in the garden, and I told Trevor, I was like, I'm not going to be able to record the podcast during the day. I do need to record it at some point. So we had a plan in place where he could have Ro for like an hour in the after school evening time, and I would be able to record the podcast. And so I'm so happy I put that into place, but it's just like I always feel this like, oh my gosh, there's not enough time in the day, and I'm accountable to this person, need to tell this person, communicate with this person here or there, and it's just like so many moving parts. Get this person from A to B, and it's just like, ugh. So if there's any time in my life where I can just like really cut something out or not take on a new thing, unless it's like, if it's, I'm not saying if an amazing thing comes up, don't take it, like I'm not saying that, but I'm just saying I think a lot of people think like the opportunities are here now and I must grind as hard as I can so that I can live the most fulfilled life possible. But I don't think that's true, and I think sometimes we just need to look outwards and think, what is a fulfilled life for me? And that's important for everyone. And as I said, a fulfilled life for me is having that time in the week where I can help out my mom doing chores, or what is it called when errands, um, help run a summer camp, or uh, have a time just for me to watch some shows. Like these are important things for me. Really, they are. Take the time to clean the dishes and enjoy the people walking past the kitchen window and just soak that in. Like I love moments like that. And that's what I look for, and that's what a fulfilled life for me is. And having time to sit quietly and watch role play or enjoy playing in that imaginative play, going out on the bodyboard. What is it called? The standing board. What is that called? Standing board, paddle board, the paddle board, and play Moana out in the lake. Like these are the things that I love to do, and I think slowing down is a really, really beautiful thing that takes a lot of practice and can be really, really hard, and is also just not part of like modern society, or like, people want us to grind. Like when I was working, um, before, it took me like 10, how many years? I feel like 10 years to get a job where I didn't have to work 3 jobs at once just to make ends meet. Like we don't live in a world where it's easy to do things like that. And so now that I'm at a point where I'm capable of doing that, I'm not taking it for granted. Even though there's times when I feel like, am I missing out on opportunities? Am I missing out? Like, and it can go for FOMO too, like wanting to spend a night in, but then you feel like, am I missing out on my friends? Am I missing out on this? But like, I just want to feel like I'm not missing out if I'm with myself and I'm present, because I have things to offer for me, and I'm not missing out because there's goodness in spending time with just yourself and being present. So don't feel like you are running to a finish line. It's really about the journey, and it's not now or never. You have your whole life filled with amazing decisions to make, and a journey of ups and downs and rounds, and you don't know where you're going to go. You will have full circle moments, you will have zigzaggy moments, you will have crossroad moments, and it's all the beauty. But really try not to have that time anxiety. This is my rider for Grace. Grace, really try not to. Really try not to. Okay. I love you all so much, cuties. I'm not ending the podcast, but we're moving on to the next one. I just wanted to have a connection moment here, or the next segment. Let's move on to roses, buds, and thorns. Okay. Roses, buds, and thorns. I just took a lovely sip of my lemon water. I love to put the lemon wedges right in there and like stab them. Ooh, 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 ooh. Get those juices mixed up. Mm, tart. Okay. Oh, I just saw what is this called? Thumbtack on my floor. Let me stick that in my, what is this called? Corkboard. That's my new catchphrase. What is this called? Don't want to step on a thumbtack. That would really hurt. I thought I had 3 thumbtacks up there, but there's only 2. So now I'm worried that there's another one on the floor. That's okay. Okay. My rose this week, honestly, I s actually, I guess that's a bud. I was gonna say, I wanna say what tomorrow's is, but that's a bud, so no. My rose this week was just getting a lot of, what is it called? Doodly doodly doo. Administrative stuff out of the way. I'm in the middle of a bunch of exciting things, that I just, like, need to slow down and, like, take in because they're kind of like dream come true moments or like dreams I couldn't even dream of come true moments, and it's kind of really exciting. That's like seems secretive, but like I don't know. I Some things I can't say or can say at some point. But anyways, I'm just really really feeling proud of myself. I think that's it. I just think this week I've just like really taken the time to sit and feel proud of myself for where I've come in the past year or so once I decided to just like live for myself and try and make it as a entrepreneur individual work for yourself type of person, and I'm just feeling really proud of myself. So that's my rose, just a little proud of me moment. Okay, my thorn is dun, 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 dun. Oh my gosh, my allergies were out of this world yesterday. I took a Reactin in the middle of the day. I try not to take Reactin. You all know this. I'm not going to spend time taking it on it. Flonase is my OTP. I'm obsessed with Flonase. And I've been doing Flonase every day, but sometimes, like yesterday, I needed a Reactin too. So I did my Flonase in the morning, and then the middle of the day, I was like, I think I'm going to actually like explode. My eyes were like on the verge of swelling up, my throat, I couldn't stop, my congestion, I was just everything. And I just felt so, like low. I also moved around our entire bedroom furniture, which feels so amazing. That's probably my rose too. It feels so good. Like I don't know how long we're gonna have it here, but like as a kid, whenever I felt stressed out, I would change around my bedroom furniture and it would make me feel like 10,000 times better. And so I did that yesterday just because I was feeling like so over my allergies, and I was also just feeling over our bedroom. Like it'd been in the same way for 3 years. So I switched it up and now it feels so like fresh and nice. And I made the TV so it's like at the foot of our bed. It's kind of ridiculous, but it's the only place I could put it where I put the bed in the new place. But it's actually so fun. It's like one of those like Y2K beds where the TV comes out of the bed frame, except for the TV's always up. It's not electronic, but it's just like right there. And we were gonna watch Yellow Jackets last night, me and Trevor, but I fell asleep at like 8:30. I fell asleep with Rowan. I came in and I was like, I can't, I can't be awake right now. And so we didn't watch it, but maybe we'll watch it tonight. Hopefully, I also have still so much stuff I need to get edited because my day kind of got shuffled all around. But maybe I can edit that while Roey's going to sleep. But anyways, long story short is my allergies were just horrific. So I took a Reactin and then I was like, I need to go to sleep for at least 30 minutes so that the Reactin can just like kick in while I'm sleeping because I can't like stand this. So I took a nap, but then I woke up from my nap feeling like absolute crap because Reactin makes me feel like crap. And then I was like, oh, and it was almost time to pick up Row. And I was like, you know what? We're going to turn this day around. It's the beginning of the week. Spirits were high, allergies will not take me down. So I was like, okay, let's go paddle boarding and let's pick up pizza for dinner. And I also needed to send this email that I was not that I was putting it off, but I just like felt like I wanted to wait till today. And I'm so happy I did it yesterday because I would have not had time to do it today. So I sent off that email before I went to pick up Row. And then I just felt like so much better. And then as soon as we got into the lake, and I hopped in the water, that's just like it was a cleansing moment of all allergies. Well, like just the worst symptoms. So I felt so much better. And I even just this morning I was nervous. I didn't take a Reactin today. I did my Flonase in the morning and then I said if it gets bad this afternoon, then I'll take a Reactin. And I was outside all day in the garden taking things apart and I feel fabulous. So all good. Yesterday must have just been a bad pollen day. Okay, let's get into the buds. I was going to say this almost at the beginning. I'm really looking forward to my morning paddleboard tomorrow. Like, really, really, really looking forward to it. Just me, myself out on the water. I'm going to practice standing up. Oh, I'm so excited. And I have like a pretty open schedule. Now I'm like thinking about my schedule tomorrow, but I do. I have a pretty open schedule so I can really enjoy myself. Um, so I'm so looking forward to that. Yay. Okay, let's get into the entertainment recap. Entertainment recap. Entertainment recap. What have I been watching? Desperate Housewives. I'm on season 5. Everything's aged up. Like, what? At first, it took me a while to get into it because I was like confused. At the end of season 4, I was like, what? They just skipped 5 years? And then season 5 started, and I'm like, oh my gosh, the teenagers, like Lynette's kids are teenagers. They have their whole own plot line. Like, this is so wild. Also, did they just get rid of Lynette's extra child? Like, you know how she had what's his face's love child, her husband, and they sent her away because she was like being all evil, but it's like they just got rid of her. I'm sure she'll come back in at some point maybe, like, but like it's like she never came back. There was never, in the 5 years, there was never like a figuring out of anything. Anyways, I just found that funny. But and Gabrielle, she has so many kids. I actually love how loving her. And why can I never remember any of the husbands' names? Probably because they're irrelevant to me. No, I'm just kidding. But Carlos, Gabrielle and Carlos, they have such like a loving, down to earth. It like took me a while to figure it out, but sometimes Gabrielle was being such a butt face, like for no reason. So I'm happy that she like is living this more loving life right now. But anyways, I'm still enjoying it. I'm still watching it. I'm excited to start Selling Sunset. So there's 8 seasons of what is this called? Desperate Housewives. I really want to finish that and then start Selling Sunset, but like I keep getting so many Selling Sunset things on my TikTok and I have to just keep skipping them, and people are saying this season is so juicy and so good, and I'm like I just want to watch it. So I'll get around to it. And then I watched the finale of, what is it called? Summer House, but I haven't watched the reunion yet. I'm not sure if that'll be out, but I will watch it at some point, and I'm so excited to watch the reunion. I think it's going to be so filled with so much. The finale, like Lindsay, oh my gosh. When Lindsay and oh, what is her name? This is why I'm definitely not an entertainment recapper all the time, just for this segment, because I can never remember anyone's name. But what is her name? I feel so bad that I'm forgetting her name, but remember Lindsay. But anyways, you know who I'm talking about if you watch Summer House. Lindsay and the person that she was fighting with the whole summer, who were, they used to be best friends. The way that she reacted in their conflict resolution conversation, like, was so cold. And the fact that she left it and was just hyping herself up, like, oh my gosh, she was going so wild. Like, I was so calm, cool, collected. I was like, you weren't not calm, cool, collected. You were turned off. You were nothing. You were a stone. You had no emotion, not even neutral emotion. You just had negative. Like, you were like empty. Your eyes were dead. It was scary. I would have been scared to be part of that conversation. And that would have made me even angrier in the moment. So it wasn't a fair, like, she was being an antagonist without saying anything. Anyways, that was just like, oh, so much. And yeah, I'm really looking for looking forward to the reunion and hearing all the thoughts and opinions and everything. And you know, we're only getting a sliver of what their relationship was too, like their friendship and stuff. So it's just one of those things where it's like, wow, it must have been a really hard summer. I'm sad it's over, but I'm excited for the reunion. I need to catch up on Below Deck Sailing Yacht, but I've just been so into Desperate Housewives. I just like can't right now. So I'm just going to wait until it's probably done and then watch them all one day. But we'll see. We'll see. And I don't think I've watched anything else. Yellow Jackets, we're going to finish the 2 episodes that are left. We haven't watched them yet. We left off on when they were like, when she had her baby in the wilderness. And oh my gosh, that episode was traumatic, which is why I have like no urge to continue watching, because it was just so creepy. This season 2 is so creepy. I like it. Like, I really do like it. But at the same time, it's just so creepy and I really don't know where it's going. And that makes it even more creepy. And it's just like, oh my gosh, every episode I don't know what's happening. It kind of makes me feel uncomfortable, but I still like it and I want to know what's going to happen. So it's tricky, but we still have the 2 episodes to watch. So we're going to watch them. Probably one tonight. Probably. Maybe we'll do 2, but most likely one. And then hopefully one tomorrow. But yeah, that's everything I'm watching really. I feel like I had like no podcast to listen to the past like weekend. I just kept like every night I listened to a podcast when I put Ro to sleep. So I was like, oh no, there's no more. But also I guess it's like in the US it's Memorial Weekend. So I think like people were probably taking holidays and not posting or whatever. But I just felt like so out of things to listen to. So if you feel like that, glad that I'm uploading this episode. I even thought about that when I was like so busy today. I was like, people need podcasts to listen to because there's a shortage. Not that there is, I'm sure there's lots, but the ones that I specifically listen to, it's like I'd listen to all of them. Anyways, that's where we're at. Thank you so much for coming. I'm so excited for coming Thank you for coming to my house. Thank you for coming to this podcast. Thank you for listening. Go follow me over on TikTok and Instagram at 5 Years Time Podcast. And of course on YouTube if you're a visual person, but also for weekly vlogs. I'm just so happy and feeling in good spirits this week, which is amazing. And feeling the beauty in taking it slow and knowing that it's not now or never. Your life is full and complete and on a journey of its own. It is not a finish line. And there is so much out there that you don't even know yet. Like you can't even fathom or imagine. Because I feel like even now I'm like, what I'm doing, I can't even imagine that I would have been doing that. So ah, anyways, I love you all so much and just try and sit and feel beautiful in this season of life and feel really content with just like living in the moment because it always goes by so fast. Every year just gets faster and faster and faster. But if we just stop and breathe and take it all in as much as we can, I know it'll be an amazing time for us. So I love you all. See you on TikTok. See you on Insta. Sending love, sending hugs, sending kisses. Mwah! See you next week, cutes.